The points on the opportunity set represent different risky portfolios. Investor can choose any of these risky portfolios and combine it with risk-free assets to create a complete portfolio that's represented by the CAL from Chapter 6. For example, point A represents the minimum variance portfolio. The CAL, which is the orange line going through point A, represents different combination of minimum variance portfolio and risk-free asset. But it's not the optimal portfolio because we can draw another CAL with point B with a higher slope. Remember, we want a CAL with the highest slope possible, so we have the highest Sharpe ratio as discussed in BKM7. The optimal risky portfolio is at the point where CAL is tangent to the opportunity set. It's point P on the graph. It has the highest slope for the CAL and maximizes the Sharpe ratio. This is the formula for the weight on the debt fund in the optimal risky portfolio. Capital R is the excess return above risk-free rate. Expected return lowercase r minus risk-free rate. This formula is kinda similar to weight formula for minimum variance portfolio. If we get rid of the expected excess return and replace the sum of the expected returns with 2 in the denominator, we got the weight formula for minimum variance portfolio. Now let's bring in the indifference curve from BKM6. We can identify the optimal complete portfolio that's built from optimal risky portfolio to maximize investors' utility. First, on the opportunity set, identify the optimal risky portfolio at point P that's tangent to CAL. Second, find the optimal complete portfolio at point C that's tangent to the indifference curve. Let's work on a numerical example. The expected return is 8% for the debt fund, 13% for the equity fund. Risk-free rate 5%, standard deviation 12% for the debt fund, and 20% for the equity fund. Correlation is 0.3, investor risk aversion is 4. First, write out the excess return right next to the standard deviation. When plugging numbers into the optimal weight formula, one simple way to remember what to multiply is to crisscross multiply expected excess return and standard deviation. Second, calculate the covariance. Correlation 0.3 times standard deviation of debt fund 0.12 times standard deviation of equity fund 0.2 equal to 0.0072. Now plug the numbers into the optimal weight formula to find WD. The expected return of the optimal risky portfolio, RP, is the weighted average of the component return. Make sure to use the lowercase r expected return. A common mistake is to use the excess return. Sigma p is the standard deviation of the optimal risky portfolio. Using the variance formula, we got 0.142. The Sharpe ratio is expected return 0.11 minus risk-free rate 0.05 divided by standard deviation 0.142 equal to 0.423. For the optimal complete portfolio, first calculate the percentage of investment in the risky portfolio. Using the formula from Chapter 6, Y equals to excess return divided by risk aversion times variance. And we got 0.7439. Keep in mind, we are assuming the standard utility function is expected return minus 0.5 times A risk aversion times sigma squared. Within the risky portfolio, we calculated above that 40% is invested in the debt fund. The percentage of the total portfolio invested in the debt fund would be 0.4 times 0.7439 equal to 0.2976. Similarly, for the equity fund, 0.6 times 0.7439. The portion invested in risk-free asset is 1 minus 0.7439. The expected return of the complete portfolio, R subscript C, is the weighted average returns of the optimal risky portfolio and risk-free rate, equal to 0.095. Standard deviation of the complete portfolio is the percentage invested in the risky portfolio, 0.7439, times its standard deviation, 0.142. The Sharpe ratio is expected return 0.095 minus risk-free rate, 0.05 divided by standard deviation, 0.1056. It's the same as the Sharpe ratio calculated in the optimal risky portfolio, since both portfolios are on the same CAL. If you like our video lesson, you could find the entire Section A video lessons organized by chapter on our main website, www.actuaryfellow.com. And the best thing is, it's free of charge. Plus, you could take our quiz to test your understanding of the key concepts for each video lesson. We also offer practice exams on our supplemental study website, www.actuaryfellows.com. Our practice exams are on CBT setting, the exact same way the actual exam is being administered. Sign up and access the free package, including past exams and all past integrative questions. Happy studying! Do it once and for all.